midwestern town of the United States, in a farming community, there lived a man named Jake. And Jake was a very difficult person, a very mean person, and no one liked him, and he never sort of made any effort to be pleasant. And so he was a bit of an outcast. Unfortunately, it came to the day when he died, and so the people gathered around the tomb, around the graveside. They were very royal. They all came to say goodbye to Jake. And the minister there, the Reverend, said, before I commit Jake to his last resting place, would any of you here like to say something about him? And no one spoke, except a grizzled old farmer said, all I can say is that Jake wasn't as mean some of the time as he was all of the time. So it's very difficult at times to deal with people in a charitable way, because some people are very difficult to go on with, and you had that in the early church. There were factions, there were fighting, there were intrigue, all those things that are part of our life today. And Christ is just saying, look, we must try to get on with each other and to work together and sort things out. And that's very difficult for us. But he says to love others as you love yourself. Well, it's very difficult for us too to love ourselves. If you ask any of you here, what do you think is the best thing about yourself? You would be a bit tongue-tied, especially the men. And if I said to them, well, that's not racist. It's Father's Day after all. But if you were asked to say something nice, or what the best about one of your partners, or your friends, or your husband or wife, you'd speak quite clearly about it. But trouble about, we think that if we talk about ourselves, we're blowing our own trumpet. But it's hard to accept who you are at times, and to know your weaknesses and your strengths. And all Jesus has said, well, reach out to others as best you can, knowing that they've got their weaknesses and they've got their strengths, and try and work together with them. And it's all different ways of doing that. But that's the message of the gospel today. And he's just telling us that when we gather like today in this Eucharist, he's in the middle of us, he's with us always. But particularly when we gather for the Eucharist, where he comes, we come in thanksgiving for the blessings we receive, for the gifts he gives us. We come together bringing our joys and sorrows, our hardships and our disappointments and our sufferings. And they're all caught up in extraordinary mystery of the Mass, where the hosts on there represent you and all that's part of your life, your good things and your bad things. And the chalice of blood that says, yes, you will suffer, but you're part of my suffering too. So it's the whole mystery of life, the history of the complexities of life, trying to give some meaning to those. And that's why the Mass gathers us together in one big upsweep, as it were, to God. And he says, I will listen to you, I will give you my grace and help, and I'll renew you for the week ahead and to strengthen you. So it's a wonderful mystery. It's a constant movement of life, or become just sort of focusing for one time in the week with Christ himself. He comes to us, to each of us personally, and he just comes to strengthen us. He knows all the troubles we face, and he knows the joys we have, and he knows how we try to love one another. But we know too that that can be a difficult project. However, we have great trust in his love for us, we have trust in the grace that he gives us, and we have the knowledge that he's always with us every moment of our day.